This is the OPS pregame report.
Welcome live to Spartan Arena on the campus of Homestead High School as the Homestead Spartans and Wawasee Warriors are set to face off in an outer conference matchup. Good evening, everyone. I'm Noah Johanningsmeier, joined alongside Braxton Hall and sideline reporter Anthony Gery, as we are now just moments away from tip-off in this ball game. And Braxton, these are two schools that have not faced off against each other in program history, and we get to see them face off for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, no, the Spartans enter this matchup tonight, the heavy favorites to win. But as we know, anything can happen in Indiana high school basketball, and even more so when two teams get together for the very first time.
And now let's get into the OPS pregame show here as we take a look at last night's game for the Spartans, as the Southside Archers gave them a scare in a game that was back and forth all game long until the Spartans were able to pull away late.
Yeah, the Spartans got off to a bit of a slow start, but the offense eventually got going in the second half, and that was largely led by Will Jameson with 17 points, Kyron Kalpawiki with 12 points, and then John Parent, who stepped up big in the absence of Grant Leeper. He had 8 points and 5 rebounds.
Yeah, John Parent was huge for the Spartans in that one, as Grant Leeper is out for this weekend on a college visit, and currently John Parent was stepping up big, and we'll have to here tonight as well, as you also saw Will Jameson and Kyron Kalpawiki, the guys who have got it done all season for the Spartans, once again got it done last night. And overall in the season, the Spartans have been pretty dominant, as they now sit at 10-1, with 6 of those wins decided by double digits.
Yeah, the Spartans have had a great start to the season, currently sitting at 3-0 in conference play and ranked number 5 in the state. A lot of large wins, like you just mentioned, and their lone loss came back in the holiday tournament in that opening game against the Munster Mustangs.
Yeah, the Spartans truly have been dominant all season long, playing at a very high level. Just that holiday tournament that you mentioned, just dropping the first game of that tournament to Munster, but then going on to win that tournament championship here in Spartan Arena, beating Mishawaka Marion. And as for the visiting Wawasee Warriors, they have had some ups and downs in the early going this year.
Yeah, they've gotten off to a bit of a shaky start, currently sitting at 4-7 overall, 0-2 in conference play, but they really haven't been as bad as the record shows. They've had a lot of close losses that have come down to the wire, especially earlier in the season against Fairfield and Manchester, and then a tough overtime loss at the hands of West Noble.
Yeah, they have had a lot of close games throughout this season. Certainly want to, their record certainly underplays their talent on this roster. Just when on those games that you mentioned, talking about Manchester just losing that game by 2 points, playing against West Noble, losing that one in overtime. This is a good squad that has just suffered some close losses.
Yeah, and a lot of the losses they've had that are bigger have come against some of the best teams in the state, such as their last game last night against Northwood.
Yeah, and now playing against one of the top teams in the state, the Homestead Spartans, currently number 5 in the state. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do here in this one.
Yeah, and this Wawasee team, they are very gritty. They're going to try to give the Spartans everything they have to go out and win this game.
Yeah, this Warriors squad is ready for a battle against the Spartans here tonight in this one, as it's going to be the key players for the Homestead Spartans here tonight. The normal Will Jameson and Kyron Kalpawiki will be expected to step up huge.
Yeah, that backcourt for the Spartans is going to be key for them if they're going to win this game, just like it's been all season long.
And now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery, who is alongside Coach Chris Johnson.
Thank you, Noah. And Coach, you get Tucker Day back today since he suffered an injury first game this for the entire season. What do you want to see out of him today?
Well, we're going to see. He had a very good 2 weeks of practice, get himself prepared. Hopefully he's ready to go. This is his first opportunity. We're excited to have him back. We're excited if we can get everybody back, everybody healthy, everybody here, I think we can compete at a high level.
Good luck tonight. Noah, back to you.
Thank you, Anthony, and it's certainly going to be interesting to see what Tucker Day can do here in his first outing of the season. He will be coming off the bench, though, and be on somewhat of a minute restriction here in this one.
Yeah, Tucker Day is going to be a big part of this Spartan attack, especially down low, and with Grant Leeper absent, as we touched on earlier in the pregame show. Tucker Day is going to be that big physical presence that the Spartans need.
And now we will send it to a short break, but don't go anywhere. Coming next is starting lineup and tip-off live from Homestead High School.
Touchdown, Homestead! Dribbles it, mid-range jumper up. He got it! Zach Kruger hit the shot.
I can't wait to get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
I'm gonna act up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up.
Gery right on the side, nothing there. Step back, open three, it's gone! Todd Curry!
Yep. I'ma need you to back up. Spilling the tea, you stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up.
1 second! The Spartans are state champions! It's over! It's over! The Spartans are state champions!
Welcome live to Spartan Arena as we are now just moments away from tip-off in this one, as it's the Wawasee Warriors versus the Homestead Spartans here. As we will now take a look at the starting lineups for each of these squads, as we are now just moments away from tip-off in this one. Starting off for the Wawasee Warriors, as you see there, Colin Zebarth, Miles Everingham, Peyton Felger, Maddox Everingham, and Colin Roberson to round out the starting five there.
Yeah, and this Warriors team, a bit of a young team. They do have 2 seniors that will be starting this game and a junior, but they also have 2 sophomores that will be starting. Interesting to know, all of their players on this starting lineup are either 6 foot or above.
Yeah, definitely have some height in that lineup, which could be interesting in this one, as the Spartans going to be without their usual starter, Grant Leeper, as they will have Will Jamison, Kyron Kapowicki, John Parent in the place of Leeper, along with Jake Shermershine and Alex Graber.
Yeah, the usual starting lineup minus Grant Leeper for the Spartans. And John Parent, we saw him last night. He had 8 points for the Spartans in that tight win against Southside, and he could be a big key for them again in this game.
That's going to be interesting to see what the Spartans can do here in this one. And overall, when you just look at this matchup, Homestead at Wawasee, it's kind of surprising to see these two schools play against each other, as they never have before in history. But the reasoning behind it is the 2 coaches of these programs, John Everingham of the Warriors and Coach Chris Johnson of the Homestead Spartans. They're friends. They've been trying to get this one on the schedule for a couple of years now, and now they have. It's going to be a fun one. 2 friendly coaches, rivals here out on the court tonight.
Yeah, some of the best matchups come when you see friends or family competing against each other in games, because you know it's going to be a very competitive atmosphere, but it's also going to be nice and fun.
It's going to be a fun one here in this. as the 10-1 Homestead Spartans, number 5 in 4A, take on the Class 3A Wawasee Warriors, currently 4-7 on the year. In for the tip is going to be Colin Robertson versus John Parent. As currently Coach Everingham talking to an official, delaying the tip off of this one as here we go. Tip-off is up and away, and it'll be the Warriors to start with it. Trying to set something up here in the early going. As that's Everingham in the corner.
Yeah, and this Warriors team, they're a pretty smart team. You're not going to see them taking a lot of shots that they do not believe they're going to make.
Trying to set something up, trying to get a good look here to start off the ball game hot. As you see Felger in the corner now, guarded by Shermershine.
And this is the right thing to do. Just take your time, wait for a good look. We've seen a lot of teams against the Spartans try to rush things, and that's when the Spartans are able to force turnovers or crash the boards for rebounds.
Now Miles Everingham gives it over. And now outside a three-pointer from Maddox Everingham, and that one drops. Everingham brothers setting up that play and getting an early lead for the Warriors.
And if you are the Warriors, that is the perfect start to the game. You took over a minute off the clock and then able to knock down a three-pointer.
And now Kalpawiki tries to answer, and he will, plus the foul. And one three-pointer for Kyron Kalpawiki, and he can start this ball game off with potentially a 4-point play if he can convert at the line.
As we get another look at it there, able to put the shot up, nothing but net, and then through the contact, getting himself to the line.
And the free throw will drop in. So Kalpawiki 4 points on just one Spartans possession so far in the ball game. As Miles Everingham gives that one over to Zebarth. Warriors now out to Miles Everingham. And then he just gets pressured and then will dribble off with his foot. A nice aggressive defense forces that turnover.
You see it there. He is in disbelief. He does not believe that went off of him. But according to the refs, it did, and it will be Spartans basketball.
As the Spartans last night were really pestered by a Southside Archers zone, the Warriors coming out in a zone early on in this ball game.
Yeah, zone defense has been a big struggle for the Spartans so far this season. It just forces them to get some looks that they may not be used to taking. The good news for the Spartans team, though, is Will Jamison and Kyron Kalpawiki are great at creating space for themselves.
As Jamison created some space for him on that shot, just could not get it to drop. Now the Warriors trying to get the lead here. As Robertson has it outside. Now Zebarth. Warriors really look to just be taking a slow pace in this ball game. As that shot ends up short. Now Kalpawiki in transition, and he lays it in. Kalpawiki a little bit below his standards of performance last night with 12 points against Southside, already up to 6 in this one.
Yeah, Kalpawiki off to a great start so far in this game, currently holding all of the Spartans' points.
As Miles Everingham has it in between the circles here for the Warriors. This team knocked down a triple from Maddox Everingham on their first possession, but have not scored since. Robertson outside. Just going to hand that one off. And then a foul will be called defensively on Alex Graber of the Spartans, his first personal. As Carson Smith will check in for Colin Robertson. A nice backdoor cut from Zebarth there. Just the pass could not connect, and it's a Warriors turnover.
Yeah, and even though that ball went out of bounds there, that was great offensive movement that Wawasee had going on that possession, and that's really what they're going to have to do all game long. Nice, slow possessions, trying to get the offense moving around.
As the Spartans trying to break the zone once again, as they saw all last night in a closely contested battle against the Southside Archers. As Jameson finds an opening and splashes a 3 down.
Will Jameson currently shooting 32% on the season from three-point range. When you give him that much space, it's going to be very rare that you see him missing.
It's definitely dangerous to leave Will Jameson open as the Warriors try to answer, and they will not be able to as a loose ball foul was called on the rebound.
And another look there at that Will Jameson 3, able to pull up from deep and get the shot to go.
And the foul was called on Colin Zebarth. That's going to be his first personal as John Parent and Jake Schermershine sub out for the Spartans here. Tucker Day checks in for the first time this season.
Yeah, and the crowd erupted a little bit there when he came in. Been absent for the Spartans all season long, and he's going to be a big presence for them down low.
As Kapowicki finds himself open in the mid-range, no good. The Spartans have gotten good shot attempts each of their possessions so far. Have knocked some triples down early. As they playing swarming defense there, and it's going to be out of bounds off of the Warriors, Miles Everingham, and it is going to be Spartans ball.
And this Spartans defense is just absolutely swarming the Warriors right now, making it so difficult for Wawasee to get anything going offensively.
Kapowicki pulls the trigger on another 3, and another one drops. He's already up to 9 points in this ball game. As the ball gets tipped, and then a foul will be called on Will Jameson, just a little too aggressive that time.
And another look there, that Kyron Kapowicki 3. The Spartans just seem to be nailing every three-pointer that they take right now.
Yeah, we saw on the first possession of the ball game, Kapowicki get an and 1-3, and then right there he got his second three-point make already. It's Miles Everingham trying to set something up for this squad.
And the Warriors really have to get something going on this possession. 6 minutes into the game, and so far they only have 3 points.
As Smith just threw that one away, and it's a turnover. Now Jameson, Kapowicki, back to Jameson, a wide open 3 ball. That one rims out. No good that time for Will Jameson. As we see Zebarth get himself into the mid-range and then draw a foul on Jameson, which will be his second already.
Will Jameson into a bit of foul trouble. Not even through the first quarter yet. Already has 2 fouls, and that could be big as this game progresses.
Yeah, Jameson all season long has been big for the Spartans, and to have him in foul trouble is something Coach Johnson certainly wants to avoid. As Robertson checks back in for the Warriors here, Felger will go to the bench. Z-Barth makes 1 of 2 at the line that time, and the lead's cut down to 8. Jameson still in this ball game, even though he just picked up his 2nd personal foul already in this first quarter. As Kapowicki attacks inside, and then a foul will be called defensively. That one is going to be on Colin Z-Barth. And that's his 2nd personal. So now a guard on each of these squads already in a bit of foul trouble.
Yeah, 2 of the biggest players in this contest tonight already with 2 fouls apiece.
A nice rebound there from Robertson as the Warriors trying to cut into now an 8-point deficit. Miles Everingham gives it out to Robertson. A 3-pointer, that one's no good. Rebound ends up in the hands of Gallagher for the Spartans. And then Jameson with a nice attack, the basket and the foul.
Great job by Will Jameson, able to put that layup in through the contact. And right now for the Spartans, it has been the Will Jameson and Kyron Kapowicki show.
Those two have all of the points so far for this squad, as Jameson has 5 and Kapowicki has 9. As we are almost through this first quarter of action. Z-Barth over to Miles Everingham. Warriors trying to create something here and avoid going in or finishing the first quarter with a double-digit deficit.
Yeah, big possession here, trying to cut this down to a single-digit deficit heading into the second quarter and maybe get some momentum going in their favor.
As Maddox Everingham now has it down low. Out to his brother Miles, a 3-pointer splash from deep downtown. That is a big 3-pointer there, as the Wawasee Warriors needed something. As we will now take a short break, we'll be back with second quarter action of Homestead Wawasee. Welcome back to Homestead High School, as we will now send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery. Anthony?
Thank you, Noah. And although Tucker Day hasn't played much of a role in this game so far, it is a big deal that he is playing in this game. In the absence of Grant Leeper, Homestead finally has a little bit of height in their favor. And then on Tuesday, Homestead, they'll be faced with a big challenge playing against Blackhawk Christian, where they will have Grant Leeper. Of course, it's nice to get Tucker Day ready for that game. We'll see what happens in that one. Tucker Day, certainly a lot more left in his tank.
Thank you, Anthony. And it certainly will be interesting to see what Tucker Day can do in this one for the Spartans and throughout the rest of the season, as this is a squad that is currently 10-1 on the season, even without having that key piece.
Yeah, this is a team that has championship aspirations as the season progresses, and having Tucker Day back is going to be a huge part of their chase for a championship.
Right there, over and back is going to be called on Tucker Day there. That's going to be his first personal of the night. The 4th team foul on the Spartans, so they're still a couple away from sending the Wawasee Warriors into the bonus. As Z-Barth attacks inside, loses it, but then gets it right back out and sends it out away.
And I will say one thing we've seen already early in this game from this Warriors team, they have great ball movement, trying to get everybody a touch of the ball on each possession until someone finally gets open.
As Felger trying to get something going now in the corner, Zebarth. They really do take their time offensively, this Warriors squad. Just looking for the best shot as Zebarth attacks the rim and can't get it to go. Now down low, Day trying to post up, and he scores. Tucker Day gets his first points of the season.
And the Spartans fans clapping as that shot goes in. They know how much it means to this team to have Tucker Day back and scoring points for this team.
And then Tucker Day defensively with the block. And right now, seeing the potential Tucker Day has, along with what we've already seen from this 10-1 Spartan squad, they really are looking like the sky is the limit for the Homestead Spartans this year.
Yeah, if this Spartan squad wasn't dangerous enough already, having Tucker Day, his big playability, whether that be layups down low or sending blocks back like we just saw.
As Carson Smith just drained a big three-pointer for the Warriors there. And then a traveling violation will be called on Will Jamison. Maybe a bit of a momentum shifter here. The Tigers with a chance to keep it going and cut into the 6-point lead.
Yeah, it just felt like
the Warriors.
Yeah, the Spartans were up 10 points just a few moments ago, and now it's just a 6-point game, and the Warriors are in possession of the ball.
Zebarth guarded by Gallagher. Now it's Maddox Everingham on that far side. Now 5 minutes left in this second quarter. This Warriors squad really had a slow start, only had 4 points in the late seconds of the first quarter, but then a three-pointer from Miles Everingham got them going, trying to keep it rolling here with 5 minutes left now in this second quarter. A nice backdoor cut there from Peyton Felger as he finishes on the reverse layup.
And just like that, the Warriors have cut it down to a 4-point Homestead lead. All the momentum on their side right now. And Will Jamison currently sitting at 2 fouls for the Spartans as well. Things seem to be heading the Warriors' way.
Kalpawiki on the attack is going to be called a double dribble there. So now is going to go back to the Warriors. Down 4 points here. And then a foul defensively will be called on the Spartans. That one's on Tucker Day, and that's going to be his second foul.
And we've seen all season long the Spartans have had some trouble with their big guys getting into foul trouble. We've seen that with Grant Leeper, and now Tucker Day only played a few minutes in this game, already up to 2 fouls.
And now a big possession here for the Warriors as they are in a bit of a roll here. Have cut the lead down to just 4 points. Trying to make it a one-possession game now. So once again, they just absolutely are taking their time, trying to create the best shot opportunity possible each possession. As Maddox Everingham going to swing it over there to Mason Shoemaker.
This Warriors squad is playing some high IQ basketball right now, making sure not to take any silly shots.
And then there will be an offensive foul called on the Warriors there, so that's going to be a turnover. Foul called on Mason Shoemaker of the Warriors. That's going to be their 5th team foul of this half. Just 2 away from going into the bonus and sending the Spartans to the line.
Yeah, both teams have committed 5 fouls so far in this half, and now it'll be 6 for the Warriors.
So that was a nice attack of the basket by Graber there. Graber on the season has been leading the Spartan squad, shooting 85% from the charity stripe, a great shooter at the line. As the first one drops in.
And there you take it, our rebound stats. Take a look at the rebound stats right now. Both teams deadlocked at 5 rebounds apiece. And we've seen all season long, rebounds are a big key as to which team wins the game in the end.
And now it's Miles Everingham. Handing it off over to Felger, and then Felger just sends a dangerous pass with some miscommunication with Zebarth, and that one goes out of bounds.
And if you're the Warriors, those are the types of mistakes you cannot be making if you're going to have a chance to knock off the 5th-ranked Homestead Spartans.
Jamison now attacking inside. Gallagher open for 3. Splash from Nick Gallagher.
Nick Gallagher, overall a pretty good 3-point shooter, shooting 40% from deep so far in this season, and then hitting that 3-pointer there.
Now Zebarth over in the corner to Maddox Everingham. As he drives inside, tried to send a pass outside, but it was tipped out of bounds by the Spartans. Warriors will retain possession here.
Pass looked to go off of John Parent, and that's a big deflection for the Spartans, as the Warriors had a man wide open on the left wing, but now the Spartans defense will have a chance to set up.
And then right off the inbound, Maddox Everingham tried to get a shot to go, could not get it to go, and then a foul on the rebound will be called on Carson Smith of the Warriors. His first personal, team 7th, so that will send John Parent to the line for a 1-and-1.
Parent is a 64% free throw shooter on the year.
As he will make the first and earn himself a second here. The lead now extends up to 9 as Parent gets his first point of the night.
And you just got to look at the turnover stats so far in this game, and it's a big reason as to why the Spartans are winning. But the Warriors currently have 7 turnovers, and the Spartans have 3.
As Jake Schermerstein will check in for Alex Graber here. Parent now makes the lead double digits. The Warriors in these last 2.5 minutes certainly need to get something flowing offensively. Try avoid going into half with a double-digit deficit.
And this second quarter feels a lot like the first quarter did. In the beginning of both quarters, the Warriors came out swinging, able to get some points on the board. But as each of the quarters have progressed, there's been turnovers, missed shot opportunities, and because of that, the Spartans have been able to pull away.
And right there's another turnover for the Warriors, as that was a 5-second violation. Now Jamison into the mid-range at the elbow, no good. But Parent with the follow, the bucket, and the foul. An and 1 for John Parent. He just got his first points of the night from the line on the last possession, and now he's already up to 4 with the potential to make it 5 here.
And the potential to make himself 3 of 3 on the game from the charity stripe.
And the does not drop, but an offensive rebound from Kapowicki. And now Parent outside. The Spartans now doubling up the Warriors as Kapowicki pulls the trigger on a 3-ball, no good. And then it gets tipped away and ends up in the hands of Miles Everingham.
Kalpawiki and Will Jameson both got off to great starts in the first quarter, but neither one of them having much of an impact on the game here in the second.
As Carson Smith pulled the mid-range jump shot there, no good for the Warriors. Graber attacking inside, out to Shermer Shine. Now in the mid-range, and he's bumped on that shot, and will go to the line for 2. Colin Zebarth picks up the foul, his 3rd personal of the ball game. A key piece for this Warriors squad and deep foul trouble in this first half.
Yeah, in these last few possessions, we've seen the Warriors committing a lot of turnovers, and not only has it put their team in some foul trouble, it has also given the Spartans an opportunity at some free points.
And right there, Jake Shermershine knocking down his first free throw of the season, as he was just 0 for 1 before that on the year. Second one drops in as well. As nobody's there for the inbounder, and that forces the Warriors to take a timeout. And we'll take one with them as the Homestead Spartans lead 26-12 with 1:12 left in the second quarter.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena on the campus of Homestead High School as the Spartans lead over the Warriors 26-12 here with just over a minute remaining in the first half of action. It's Miles Everingham, guarded by Kalpawiki here. Pressured outside, needs to throw it away to avoid a 5-second, and he does throw it away right out of bounds. Turnover for the Warriors.
And that possession kind of sums up what much of the second quarter has been like for the Warriors. The Spartans able to get great pressure defensively and then force the Warriors into a turnover.
Now Shermershine just holding it here for the Spartans as they appear ready to just take the last shot of this half. Up 14 here. The Warriors just going to let him do it as he's just standing there. Now it's Kalpawiki. A double team flies in over to Shermershine. Now we have 10 seconds left. Spartans looking to create. Parent, a mid-range jump shot, no good, but a follow from Gallagher, and he banks it in off the glass. And that will bring us to the end of this first half of action as it's a 28-12 Homestead Spartan lead. We'll send it down to sideline reporter Anthony Gery.
Thanks, Noah. And Coach, Wawasee's done a pretty good job of slowing you guys down on offense. What adjustments do you think you need to make at the half to pick up the pace and play your own pace?
Well, again, it's a low possession game, and we got to make sure that we execute at a high level on the offensive end. I thought there for a while we did that. Continue to play hard defense and extend the lead.
Thank you. Noah?
And thank you, Anthony. And it's a 28-12 Homestead lead at the break. And we will take a short break, but be back with the OPS halftime report.
you don't plan on getting an injury, so why should you plan ahead to care for one? At Orthostat, you don't have to. Whether you get hurt on the job or on the field, or if you're experiencing sudden, localized pain, we fix the unexpected. Our walk-in clinics provide emergency access to a full range of diagnostic, non-surgical, and surgical treatments. And the best part is, there's never an appointment or referral needed. So you can get in, get out, and get going. Orthostat is recognized by Anthem and other insurance plans as an alternative to the ER.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marcos specializes in pizza, subs, and more. Order online at marcos.com or by phone at 625-6800. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
Southwest Allen County Schools is our home. Home to dedicated staff, passionate teachers, and a generous community that values and supports education. We believe our culture of learning embraces change, flexibility, and innovation. We believe our schools serve as the hub of our diverse community. We value hard work, attention to craft, and tenacity. We ask questions, share ideas, and work together to find new ways to do new things, great things, for our students, for our district, and for our community. In partnership with parents, we believe learning encompasses critical thinking, creative thinking, collaboration, communication, citizenship, and resiliency. We take pride in our successes and share in our accomplishments. We are Southwest Allen County Schools, preparing today's learners for tomorrow's opportunities.
This is the OPS Halftime Report.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena here as the Homestead Spartans hold a 28-12 lead at halftime here, and we will take a look at those stats from the first half of action as Homestead played a great first half, shooting very efficient from the field, 53% overall, and then 67%, 4 for 6 from downtown.
You know, you look right there, there's not a category that the Spartans are not leading in, leading by 17% in field goal percentage, shooting just a little bit better from three than the Warriors. Big part of their lead right now is the amount of free throws opportunities they have had and the amount they have been able to make, going 6 of 9 from the free throw line right now. And then rebounds, they dominate rebounds right now 6-10. We mentioned earlier that was going to be a big part of this game. And then turnovers, only 3 turnovers in that entire first half for the Spartans. Meanwhile, the Warriors had 9.
Yeah, in each of these categories, you just see a smaller margin for the Homestead Spartans, just leading each of them, and all of those adding up to this 16-point lead, as it was an overall dominant first half of action from the Homestead Spartans, and mainly we saw it from Kyron Kapowicki and Will Jamison, who've been getting it done all year long for the squad.
Yeah, that backcourt for the Spartans has been dominant all season long and all game long. A bit of a slow second quarter for them, not producing quite as much, but both of them had a great first quarter to start this game off.
Yeah, they both played great in the first quarter. That really got it going for the Homestead Spartans. And I'll transition and look at some other scores around the area, as there are a lot of interesting games going on today, such as the Homestead Spartans girls playing earlier today and beating Lawrence North 56-39.
Yeah, the Lady Spartans had a great game earlier today, beating Lawrence North on the road, as you just mentioned, 56-39. A pretty big win for the ladies there.
Yeah, that was a big win for the Lady Spartans. And then some SAC teams currently in action right now. Concordia leading over a very solid Blackhawk Christian team, which will be playing the Homestead Spartans on Tuesday in that first quarter, 12-7. And then Northrop playing Kokomo. Kokomo, a great, solid squad. Northrop really struggling this season, and they're struggling in that one.
Yeah, Northrop has gone off to a really slow start right now, currently only holding 4 points in the second quarter. And then meanwhile, Blackhawk trailing Concordia by 5. A lot of Spartans fans with eyes on that game, looking ahead to the big matchup on Tuesday night.
And then the other score on here, Wayne losing to Arsenal Tech 52-49. A little bit of surprise for the Generals. They started off the year 8-1, but last night and today they lost 2 games. Now have fallen to 8-3. They're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, this Wayne team got off to a really hot start to the season. I think a lot of us thought they were going to be able to win this game against Arsenal Tech, but now with these 2 losses the last couple nights, they were favorites to maybe have a chance to win the SAC, but now I'm not so sure.
And with that, we will now take a short break, but we will be back with second half action of Homestead Wawasee.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
To get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Welcome back to Homestead High School here as the Homestead Spartans hold a 28-12 lead at the half. The Homestead really all around dominated that first half of action.
Yeah, the Spartans did a great job dominating really every statistical category, as you mentioned, in the halftime show. And just being able to lead every category by a little bit is what's led them to having this big lead.
And overall, we've seen a lot of Spartans step up in this one, but mainly it's been the two guys we've seen all year long with Kyron Kalpawiki and Will Jamison combining for 14 points in the first half.
Yeah, we also saw John Parent get involved in the action. He currently has 4 points in the game, above his season average of just 2.8.
Yeah, he's been big in these two games where the Spartans are without their usual big man, Grant Leeper. Another key storyline within this game for the Homestead Spartans is Tucker Day getting some playing time for the first time this season on a minutes restriction in this one, as he is getting geared up for that big game for Homestead next Tuesday against Blackhawk Christian.
That is going to be a huge game for this Spartans team. Of course, they have to close this game out first, but Tucker Day looking to be a big factor in that one.
It's a deep three ball from Maddox Everingham to open up this half. He did the same thing to start off the ball game, but outside of those two shots has nothing, but he has 6 on the night.
And the Everingham brothers have done a great job of pulling up from 3. Definitely a place they like to shoot from.
Yeah, they have done a great job of creating a presence on the perimeter for this Warriors squad, and they're going to need to hit a lot more shots like that if they want to get back in this one, trailing by now 13 points. Graber going to swing it over to Jamison. Spartans taking their time on this possession here.
Yeah, and look for them to do that throughout this entire second half. Currently holding that 13-point lead. They're going to want to take their time on every possession.
That rebound's tipped out of bounds off of Shermershine, so it will be Warriors basketball with a potential to get a run started here. Hit the three-pointer to open up the second half. They're going to need a lot more here with 7 minutes left now in this third quarter. This is now Felger attacking the basket. Tries to get over to Robertson, and then it's tipped out of bounds off of the Spartans.
Tough call there for the officials, but it looked to be the correct one, going off a Spartan player there and possession remaining with the Warriors.
So now inbound from Miles Everingham coming up, and he gets it into his brother Maddox. Now back to Miles, and then outside to Felger. And now a deep three from Maddox Everingham once again, and it drops. 2 straight threes to open up the second half, and the Warriors are back alive in this one, just down 10.
Well, I think we see what the Warriors' strategy is for this second half. Just get the ball to Maddox Everingham and let him put up some threes.
Now Jamison over to Kalpawiki. And then a blocking foul is going to be called on the Warriors here. That one is going to be on Peyton Felger, his second personal of the ball game. First team foul of the half for the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors in a bit of foul trouble right now. Colin Zeberth currently sitting at 3 fouls. Peyton Felger now at 3 as well. Interesting to see how they will manage the second half.
As Tucker Day and Nick Gallagher check into the ball game for the Spartans. It's a nice effort on the rebound there from Miles Everingham.
Yeah, great job recognizing he was sliding there and could have been called for the travel, and doing a great job to pass the ball away.
Now outside, Zeberth takes the three-pointer, and it rolls in.
And just like that, the Warriors have now cut it down to just a 7-point Spartan lead.
A huge way to come out in this third quarter. A 9-0 run right away. Really, if you were the Warriors, that's exactly what you needed to come out in this second half to have a chance in this one. And now it's just within 7 as we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery.
Thank you, Noah. And it's been a big emphasis by Coach Johnson to try to swing the momentum to start this quarter, but it has just not gone his way. Wawasee has started to come back coming out of the gates of halftime. He said he wanted to figure it out in the halftime huddle, how to take control of this game offensively, run their plays offensively, try to get the ball down low to Tucker Day, but it just hasn't been working at all. Wawasee doing a great job just not letting anything get inside for the Spartans.
Yeah, the Warriors have certainly done a great job defensively in the early going of this second half, leading to this 9-0 run to start off the second.
Perfect start for the Warriors so far in this game. And we talked about it earlier. These two coaches, Chris Johnson and John Everingham, being friends. You never know. Maybe they've had some tactics shared with each other over the years, and maybe Coach Everingham is trying to use those tactics against Coach Johnson here.
Yeah, Everingham certainly with some great halftime adjustments, as now a couple minutes into the third quarter on a 9-0 run as Johnson trying to make some timeout adjustments to answer here. As Jamison in the mid-range, a pull-up, it rims out. And then it goes out of bounds off of Tucker Day. And it is going to be Warriors basketball. A chance to keep their 9-0 run flowing.
I know it's a bit surprising that the Warriors have cut it down to a 7-point lead already, but really I don't think we should be surprised. We've seen them get off to great starts in both the first and second quarter as well. They're a team that comes hot out of the gates.
And now a deep three ball once again from Everingham, and that one doesn't drop, and then a foul will be called. This one is going to be on Tucker Day of the Spartans, a loose ball foul. That's already going to be Tucker Day's third foul in very limited minutes so far in this one.
Coach Johnson is going to keep him in the game, though, even with those 3 fouls.
Now Felger in the mid-range. A nice pass over to Robertson, who tries to finish, can't get it to drop off the glass. And then a good rebound from Day. Now Kapowicki pulls the trigger on a 3-ball, no dice. Rebound brought in by Jamison. Attacks inside, then out to Parent. Mid-range jump shot. Doesn't fall.
Right there, Kapowicki seemed to be open around the 3-point arc while Will Jamison had the ball. He was calling for it, but instead Jamison ended up passing it to Parent, who missed his shot.
As once again, Miles Everingham on the attack there. Warriors retain possession and a second chance opportunity now. Miles Everingham inside, and then it's stolen away by Gallagher. Now in transition. He goes up strong with it and finishes it off the glass.
Nick Gallagher having himself a good game so far, currently sitting at 7 points on the night.
Yeah, Gallagher averaging just 2.2 points per game on the season for this squad, having a big performance off the bench in this one. As Zeberth has it down low, fading away, and a foul will be called on the floor. It's going to be Miles Everingham to inbound. Sends it into the corner to Zebarth. Driving inside, and then he's fouled at the rim, plus the basket. And the lead goes right back down to 7.
Great job there, and it seems like every possession the Warriors are getting a chance at 3 points, whether that be from 3-point range or having and one opportunities just like this one.
And now 3:40 left in the third quarter. Tucker Day has picked up his 4th personal foul. So he'll go to the bench as he's one foul away from fouling out, and he hasn't even had too much time on the court yet. Still trying to adjust to the fast pace of the end game, as this is his first game of the season coming off of an injury.
Yeah, John Parent got about a 5-second rest there from Coach Johnson. Alex Graber came in for him, but then Tucker Day picking up that 4th foul, so Parent had ended up having to come in for Day.
As Zebarth does convert on the three-point play, the lead, the lowest it has been in this second half of action, down to 6. Now Jamison out to Parent. Gallagher with 7 points on the night, trying to get something going, out to Kapowicki. Now Graber at the rim. He's swatted by Robertson, but a foul will be called. So now Graber going to the line as the foul was called on Colin Zebarth. And that's going to be Zebarth's 4th foul. Graber can't get the first one to drop. Leads the team in free throw percentage on the season. Was 2 for 2 on the night from the line before that one. Second one doesn't fall either.
Coach Everingham with the interesting decision to leave Colin Zebarth in the game for right now, even with those 4 fouls.
Yeah, very interesting as we still have 3 minutes left in the third quarter here. But as his team is starting to get things going, doesn't want to mix it up too much. As Felger over to Zebarth. Everingham guarded tightly outside on the perimeter, as both Miles Everingham and Maddox Everingham have been draining threes in this one. As Zebarth has it. Once again, the Warriors really taking their time on this possession, trying to get the best shot possible. Trailing by 6 here, 2 minutes left in the third now. Already over a minute has gone by on this possession.
That's because they have not been able to get anyone open. Spartans playing some lockdown man-to-man defense right now.
And then it's going to be a double dribble violation. Not a way you want to end a 1 minute long possession if you're the Warriors.
Yeah, when you have possessions taking this long, you certainly want to make sure you come away with some points.
As Jamison has it. Jamison had 5 points in the first quarter. Has not scored since. As that gets tipped out of bounds off of Robertson.
And yeah, Will Jamison not scoring. That's been a big reason as to why the Warriors have come back in this game. Will Jamison, someone who usually scores a lot of points for the Spartans, currently averaging just under 18 points per game.
Along with Kyron Kalpawiki, as he had 9 points in that first quarter. They combined for 14, but the 2 stars for the squad, each of them have not scored since.
We've talked about all season long, those 2 players for the Spartans. When they are hot, the rest of the team is hot. And right now, the Spartans struggling a little bit. Their lead trimmed down to 6 points.
Yeah, the Spartans came into this half with a 16-point lead in this one, but it has been cut down to 6 now. And right now, trying to clean up a slippery spot on the court here. And now the team's going to be coming back out onto the court. The Warriors trying to continue the momentum they've had all throughout this third quarter of action, as it has been 12-2 in this third quarter. The Spartans trying to get something going offensively, and maybe from one of their stars, Will Jamison or Kyron Kapowicki, who haven't scored since the first quarter.
Yeah, I would expect in that huddle there, Coach Johnson was trying to draw something up to make sure one of them gets a look.
And right there, that's the look that we were talking about. Kyron Kapluiki drains a three-point. And now, the Warriors trying to answer. Lead back up to 9. Felger inside. Out over to Maddox Everingham. He gets it over to Smith. And now back out to Felger on the top of the key. The Warriors once again taking their time on this possession. Now trailing by 9. It might not be the best thing to do to run off so much clock.
Yeah, but with the quarter coming to an end, I think it's okay for this possession to take some time, but definitely for sure going forward into the fourth quarter, you do not want possessions taking this long.
As Everingham, tightly guarded by Graber outside on the perimeter, gives it over to Maddox Everingham. That mid-range jump shot no good. Gallagher cleans up the glass.
If you're the Warriors, if you're going to have possessions that long, you've got to find a way to come away with some points.
As Jamison now trying to create something. Just a few seconds left, and that one's short. Robertson chucks up a full-court shot. That's short, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of action as Homestead leads 33-24. Welcome back to Homestead High School here as Homestead currently leading 33-24 at the end of the third quarter. Homestead, they really controlled the first half, got up to a 28-12 lead, but then in the third quarter, it was the Wawasee Warriors in control, winning the third quarter 12-5.
Yeah, the Spartans struggled a little bit there in that third quarter. The Warriors did a great job of slowing them down. And then the Warriors also hit some big three-pointers to help cut this deficit down to single digits.
Now Jamison, still with 5 points, which he got all of them in the first quarter, and then a travel is called on Will Jamison there.
And now this is a big possession coming up for the Warriors. You just got to turn over there. Really need to come away with some points right here.
And one thing they also should try to avoid is another minute-long possession, as their last two possessions almost amounted to 3 minutes in that third quarter.
And you especially don't want to have those types of possessions if you're not coming away with points.
And now Jamison with a steal and a bucket. Lead now up to 11. The Warriors really going to have to start picking up the pace here.
And that bucket from Will Jamison right there was his first point since the first quarter. As you get another look at it right there, he tried to draw a little bit of contact as he was going up to the hoop. Didn't get the call, but still got the bucket.
As we're going to get a timeout here from the Homestead Spartans, as they currently lead this one 35-24. They have just been in control of this one overall. We did see the Warriors come out early on in that third quarter, go on a big run, but since then the Homestead Spartans have really silenced that.
Yeah, and a big part of that is this Spartans team just has so much depth on their roster. If a couple players are struggling, they're able to make substitutions and get some other big names into the game.
So now with 7:18 remaining in this ball game, the Warriors have got to get it going offensively. as it will be Spartans ball.
And you mentioned a few moments ago how the Warriors do not want to have minute-long possessions. For the Spartans, it is the complete opposite. You want your possessions getting up close to a minute.
And right there, a illegal screen is going to be called on the Spartans, which makes that just a few second possession as John Parent was called for the foul. Now it's going to be Miles Everingham. Over to Z-Barth, and then a foul will be called on Jamison. Jamison picked up 2 fouls early on in this one, and now here in the fourth quarter just picks up his 3rd.
And those 2 fouls may be a big reason as to why he hasn't scored that much since the first quarter, just getting that lone bucket a few moments ago, having to play a little bit less aggressive, making sure he doesn't pick up more fouls.
Robertson pump fakes a 3 outside. The Warriors trying to create something quick here. As Z-Barth has it outside, attacks in, and misses the shot at the rim. Good defense from Jameson and a nice rebound. As Kapowicki gives it out to Gallagher. Cross court to Jameson, mid-range pull-up splash from Will Jameson.
Will Jameson starting to get going a little bit. 4 points so far in this fourth quarter and 9 points overall for the night.
And the lead now up to 13. The Warriors going to need some big shots here if they want to come back in this one. We've seen some big ones from Maddox Everingham early on in this second half. As right there, Felger with the follow cuts the lead down to 11.
Spartans really need to try to slow things down a little bit more here, holding that 11-point lead. They really haven't slowed things down too much yet in the fourth.
As Jameson with it outside. The Spartans trying to create something. Kapowicki finds an open look. And when you give him any space, he can knock it down, and he does there.
And that shot just seemed to kind of suck the energy out of the Warriors bench. Kyron Kapowicki hitting that big three-pointer, getting himself up to 15 points on the night.
Now Everingham down low, fading away. Cannot get that one to fall. Gallagher out to Kapowicki, another triple. That one's no good. Out of bounds off of Gallagher, so the Warriors will get the ball.
And Tucker Day looks to be coming back into the game for the Spartans, currently sitting on 4 fouls.
Yeah, and Tucker Day, even without the foul trouble, was planned to have a minutes restriction in this one. His first game back from an injury, but his 4 fouls have certainly made that restriction even more so. As Miles Everingham tightly guarded by Graber out there. Now Felger. And then a three-pointer from Maddox Everingham, which doesn't drop. Jameson in transition. He's fouled hard and will go to the line for 2. The Spartans truly in control in this one right now, up by 14.
As you take another look at it there, Will Jameson going up for the shot and getting fouled hard going to the ground.
First free throw good from Will Jameson. 78% shooter on the season. And with that make, he gets up into double digits on the night, 10. And now 11 points on the night for Will Jameson.
Jameson struggled a little bit in the middle part of this game, but he has really gotten hot as the fourth quarter has progressed.
Now Felger with it for the Warriors. As trailing by 16, 4 minutes left, they're going to have to play some perfect basketball to try to get back in this one. Z-Barth Attacking inside, then out to Maddox Everingham. Clock keeps on running down as Zebarth takes the mid-range jump shot, no good, but an offensive rebound from Felger as he puts up the second chance opportunity and converts.
Great job by Felger there to get some points for his team. But once again, the Warriors just cannot keep taking this long on possessions. They're going to have to start putting up some shots they might not be too comfortable with.
Graber attacking inside, then Kaupuiki catches that heat of a pass from Graber. As Jamison, another mid-range pull-up, and that one's long. And then a foul will be called on Wawasee. That one is going to be called on Maddox Everingham of the Warriors. So 3:09 left. Spartans will retain possession, up 14. And then a foul will be called on Carson Smith of the Warriors. That's going to be the 6th team foul of the half for the Warriors. So one more will send the Spartans to the line.
And this lead already is going to be very hard for the Warriors to overcome. It feels like any points from the Spartans here would make it almost insurmountable.
As Jamison fouled on an attack to the basket and will go to the line for 2 more free throws. Currently up to 11 points on the night with 3:05 left in the ball game. And looking at that free throw differential on the night, as that one drops, the Spartans now 10 for 15 from the line, and the Warriors 2 for 3. That's been a big difference in this one.
Yeah, the Spartans have had so many free throw attempts in this game, making 2/3 of them 66%. And that's a big reason is why their lead is so big. Not only just making the free throws, the fact that they've been able to draw so many fouls against Warrior players.
And then a 3-ball from Smith, no good. And then the rebound ends up in the hands of Gallagher of the Spartans. Tucker Day gets a post up, and then a jump ball will be called. Possession arrow favors the Warriors, so they will get possession here with 2:30 left in the game. And Tucker Day, first outing of the season, has struggled a little bit with just 2 points so far and 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, I think we expected a little bit more from him in this game, but it's important to know he's still getting used to live game action. Practice is so much different than game action. There's only so much you can replicate, and as he gets used to it, we'll expect to see more and more from him.
As that is a backcourt violation called on the Warriors there. As 2:10 remain in the ball game. There's going to be another official timeout as there's a wet spot on the court that needs to be cleaned up. As it is a 16-point Homestead Spartan lead. Currently, the Spartans at 44 points as we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery.
Thanks, Noah. This is the second time this has happened in this game. Just seems to be a little problem with blood dripping all over the place. There's nothing more than that. Those last 2 official timeouts have just been because there's blood on the court. Homestead staff doing a great job of getting there and cleaning it up.
Thank you, Anthony, for the update down on the floor as it's a 16-point Homestead Spartan lead with 2:10 left in the ball game. The Warriors really struggled early on in that first half, which ended up with a 16-point deficit in the third quarter. They started to get it going, cut down into the lead, but then in the fourth, the Spartans in control once again.
Yeah, and even though they are trailing right now and it looks like they're not going to be able to pull off the comeback, no one can question their resiliency. Trailing big at the half, able to come back and cut the lead down to 6. And this Warriors team is literally leaving their blood, sweat, and tears on the court as Anthony just mentioned.
As Kalpawiki now with 2 minutes left in the ball game. Now Tucker Day getting a touchdown low out to Kalpawiki. And another triple for Kyron Kalpawiki. That now gets him up to 18 points on the night for the Homestead Spartans. Had a huge first quarter, but then in the second and for most of the third, really was pretty silent. As Jamison now attacking in transition, and he's fouled once again. So Will Jamison yet again is going to the line.
So you get another look at that Kyron Kalpawiki 3 from the wing, able to pull up and hit it. And we've seen all season long Kyron Kalpawiki just so good at hitting the long ball, shooting 51% from three-point range.
As Jamison's first free throw rims out. 78% shooter on the night, has been shooting pretty well from the line so far in this one, as most of the starters will check out for the Spartans, as Luke Nysonger is waiting on Jamison. Free throw missed. Jamison's going to have to stay out on the floor, as a three-pointer from Shoemaker drops in for the Warriors.
Nice job there by Mason Shoemaker, hitting that three-pointer. Get a little bit of momentum going for his team heading into their next matchup.
Hinkenbrook now out to Jackson Davis, top of the key. Jamison attacking once again, and then a foul will be called. That foul was called on the floor, but it's going to be the 9th team foul on the Warriors, so that will still send Jamison to the line. I don't know if they've recognized that yet, as Jamison almost checked out, but now he's got to go back on the court to shoot that 1-and-1.
Luke Nysonger really anxious to try and get into the game, but Will Jamison just keeps getting fouled, and no way for him to get into the game.
The only way he can get in now is if Jamison is able to knock down both of these, as the front end of the 1-and-1 doesn't fall. And then a long rebound goes out of bounds. And now finally Luke Nysonger will check in for Will Jamison, who put up 14 points in this ball game.
A great performance from Will Jamison there, but can you expect anything less, as it seems like Will Jamison and Kyron Kalpawiki are performing well for the Spartans team game in and game out.
Now under a minute left in this ball game. Tucker Day has it down low. Over to Parent, who puts it up, is fouled, and now we'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
John Parent currently shooting 64% from the free throw line.
And Parent this weekend really has stepped up big, as he was put into the starting lineup for each of these 2 games. This game against the Wawasee Warriors and last night's game against the Southside Archers. Last night getting 8 points and 5 rebounds. And here tonight with 4 points, really just helping the Spartan squad in the absence as Leaper, as Tucker Day with a nice putback lay there. That tip in for the Spartans, as the Warriors will call a timeout, trying to finish off these last 45 ticks strong.
Yeah, nice job by Tucker Day there, getting the tip in, getting himself up to 4 points on the game.
And now, just with 45 seconds left, Coach Everine Ham trying to set up his guys who don't often get too much playing time at the varsity level with some sets here to try and get used to this varsity action.
The future of this Wawasee Warriors squad, always a great learning experience whenever they can get some varsity playing time.
As Shoemaker was looking to send it down low, a foul will be called on Tucker Day. That's going to be number 5 on Tucker Day. And that means a starter has to come back out on the floor, and that's going to be Alex Graber checking in with 39.5 seconds left in the game.
Well, Alex Graber thought his night was over, but he's going to have to come back out there for about 40 seconds as Tucker Day finishes the night with 4 points.
As that three-point shot is no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds off the Spartans. Warriors going to keep possession here. Trailing by 18. Just 30 seconds left in the ballgame.
And credit to the Warriors for continuing to fight, even down 18 points. No chance of coming back and winning this game, but still giving all the effort they can to try and score some more points.
Now it's going to be Nysonger with it over to Ankenbrook. The Spartans really in control of this game all throughout. The Warriors gave them a little bit of a scare in that third quarter, went on a 12-2 run, but the Spartans answered strong and closed the ball game out here in the fourth. As they're just passing this one around to close out the ball game. A 18-point victory for the Homestead Spartans in this one as they win 49-31.
Great game from the Spartans there. Able to pull out the victory. Faced a little bit of adversity there in the third quarter, letting their lead slip down to just 2 possessions, but able to show up big in the fourth quarter and pull away for an 18-point win.
It was big for the Homestead Spartans to be able to close out in that fourth quarter, as they were able to have a dominant first half, but then really struggled in that third quarter. But then Kyron Kalpawiki came up big, hit a three-pointer at the end of the third and a couple in the fourth to really close out this ball game, as it is going to be, as we are going to send down to sideline reporter who is with Kyron Kalpawiki.
Thank you, Noah. And Kyron, nice win today to advance to 11-1 on the season. Do you think this team is headed in the right direction to be able to succeed as much as other teams in years past?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we're just focused on coming into practice every day, getting better.
Tucker Day is back for you guys after his first game since being injured so far this year. Do you think his impact and his everything he's put into getting back, do you think that's going to be able to help the team down the stretch?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's another big body down low, you know, another person that the other team's going to have to worry about, just another weapon.
You got a big game coming up on Tuesday versus Blackhawk. It's always a fun one to watch. 2 great teams from around the area, 2 teams that have a lot of storied titles and programs. What preparations you guys have to make in these next couple of days to get ready for a very physical Blackhawk team?
Yeah, you know, we just need to work hard in practice, know what we're getting ourselves into, watch some film, you know, we'll be ready.
Great win tonight.
Thank you.
Noah, back to you.
Thank you, Anthony. And what a win it was for the Homestead Spartans, winning this ball game 49-31. And now let's take a look at the final stats of this ball game, as Homestead gets an 18-point victory here and really dominating in all facets of this one. As you see here, shooting 58% from beyond the arc, as well as the Warriors did do that. But then you see the turnover differential. That's really the key when looking at the stat line, along with the free throw differential.
Yeah, the Warriors had 16 turnovers in this game. Meanwhile, the Spartans had only 7, and the Spartans had 20 attempts at free throws. A big difference in this game. They actually only hit 10 of them for a 50% rate. Definitely want to try and get that up a little bit more, but overall, a great performance from the Spartans.
And Braxton, who was your player of the game in this one?
Well, for me, I think it'd have to be the same guy that Anthony just interviewed. Kyron Kalpawiki had a great game, 18 points, and hitting many clutch three-pointers for the Spartans.
And with that, we are now going to wrap up today's broadcast as the Homestead Spartans won this one 49-31. On behalf of the entire Homestead Live crew, including producer Trevor Newhouse, switcher Joel McChesney, our camera operators, and color commentator Braxton Hall, I'm Noah Johanningsmeier, saying so long from Spartan Arena. This has been a presentation of Spartan Basketball on Homestead Live.